I want to give massive thanks to all of my supporting members and patrons. Thank you all so very much. Hello, good evening and welcome to you all. And how many have we got? We're starting off with 37 as I speak. Thank you. Thank you very much. Right, first of all, a few hellos. Tiny Captain, Colon, of course, 9 o'clock hero, Rockin' Robin, a name I remember. George Hannes, I hope I said that. Maybe Georg Hannes, I'm not sure, but welcome to you. Brainless. And a welcome to Bev Try Thinking. You have been invited on, as have Flat Earthers. Whether you count yourself as a Flat Earther or not, that's fine. And I'm open to many topics. I'm just not going to spend 2 hours chasing you down a rabbit hole of level horizontal level, not equal. I'm not going to waste my time on it. I've done that with you. Okay? Find someone else who wants to. I've done it once. I'm not going to do it again. Feel free to join us and talk about some other aspect of globe Earth, even if you don't follow flat. Cinnamon Control, Hammock Dweller, good evening to you. Ace Fox and Brian Pop Robson and PJC Net, thinking of coming on? Yeah, do feel free. Actually, I see you're in the live waiting room now, so maybe I'll get you on and we'll have a chat. It's a friendly place. You know that. We can disagree, and that's fine. That's not a problem. And a shout out and a super chat. Because, where do we go? I've got to get used to this. Mr. John Rapp super chatted before the stream started. That's easy for me to say. Super chatted 2 Australian upside down dollars. Thank you, John. Saying, spoilers, flurf, derpity derp, derping derpitude. The special thing about that super chat, which is very welcome and very kind, John, is it's the first super chat that's been made since I've instituted the new all singing, all dancing, IFTTT, and possibly a couple more T's.com system, so that when you super chat, it gets picked up and chucked into a private, secret, special room on my Discord server that only I have access to, and then I can see it. So unlike that daft system where I've kept it open just in case, I have to open up the screen, refresh it, enlarge it just to see what the super chats are, I should now be able to just jump into a different Discord room, see them and read them. And yes, John, yours was the very, very first one, and it worked. You worked first time, John. Thank you very much. Right. Well, we're going to have a few bits of news. You may have seen a pinned comment, which I'll try and unpin now. I didn't have success. Yes, I can. Unpin now. Tonight, in a little while, I'm going to give details of the new channel that's going to be Mrs. Sensible and myself. Although it won't be called Mr. and Mrs. Sensible, it's something else. You'll be able to see it. You may even get to find out our real names. Dun, dun, dun. But I'll talk about that in a little while. Exciting project. We're both excited anyway. So, yeah, I do want to talk about that. What else has been going on? Well, there's been an awful lot of Flatzoid. I'll come back to him. I'll tell you about me first. As I said in a community post, I've had my booster jab. Yay! And I had side effects. Anyone could get side effects, whether you have or have not on previous ones. My first 2 jabs were Oxford AstraZeneca, sweet as a nut. Just a tiny little soreness for a couple of hours, and then that was it. This one is a little bit more, but it wasn't a problem. I had that at 5 o'clock in the evening. I went to bed about 10:30, 11, went to sleep. That was great. And I see we've got a super chat, and it came up straight away. It's working good. I'll read that in a second. So I went to bed. And about 1:30, I just woke up from being fast asleep. Just woke up. And my arm was absolutely killing me. And I was having hallucinations. I had a very long conversation with a black cat on an old-fashioned telephone. I could actually see the cat talking to me, which is odd. Well, isn't it odd that the cat was even using a telephone? I don't know, it didn't seem odd at the time. And I had a long conversation with this cat about sparkles. I don't know what sparkles are, or why they're important either to me or to a black cat. But a conversation about sparkles myself and that black cat had for quite some time. And lots of other weird and wonderful thoughts went through my mind, including having quite an argument with Mrs. Sensible, because she was trying to get me to ring work to say probably I wouldn't be going in for my training course, having had no sleep, well, an hour and a half sleep, and suffering from hallucinations. So she was probably right. I don't really recall the discussion, but apparently I argued with her, and I was getting stroppy telling her I was trying to check out the contact details on an email on my phone in a computer in my head. It was a strange time, very strange time. So that was the day after my injection. I don't remember a lot of it. I did actually ring work, and I left a long rambling voicemail. I don't know what I said, and no one's mentioned it to me, so that's peculiar. And the next day I just had sort of flu symptoms, the aches and pains, just the aches and pains, no sneezing or anything like that. And today I feel fine. Last night was the first night I slept. I hadn't had any sleep for at least 36 hours, and I did a shift at work, so it was tough. So when I did go to bed last night, I was out like a light. That was interesting. Right, let's try these super chats, because a couple have come in, and IFTTTTT is working grand. Well, I might have to change the format, so I might struggle a bit. So this is from Eric Hare. Thank you, Eric, for $5. Now that you've told us about your secret room, people can give you money as a desperate cry for attention. Consider this one of them. Eric, it has been considered, and you are one of them. I don't mean you're one of them. You know what I mean. Thank you for the super chat, Eric. And from Nowpinion, Mr. Nowpinion. Oh, the squeaking started. Darn. Let me just change the temperature, see if it'll go away. I don't know. I'll give it a second, otherwise I'll switch it off, because otherwise you're going to hear hamster wheels squeaking. Nowpinion. I sent a 19th month anniversary message. It wasn't sent in that Discord channel, I guess. Wow. Oh, I see. And then he super chatted for 55 Swedish krona. Nowpinion, I'm afraid that hasn't appeared. So not only does YouTube not tell me, IFTTT doesn't tell me. So let me scroll back most fully and see if I can find your 19. It doesn't show. Oh, hold on. It's not showing on here either, is it? Eric's. No, your 19th month super chat. Oh, yes, it is. That was a long way back. Sorry. Now, 19 months. It feels like just yesterday I joined. Yes, and in actual fact, it was a little under 20 months ago, wasn't it? I would hazard a guess, Nowpinion. Thank you so much for being such a long-standing member. I appreciate it. And I'm going to have to watch out for that. So people, please be aware, if you're one of the members, the kind members of the channel, and you get one of your free super chats, IFTTT isn't picking it up either. So I will do my best to keep an eye on those and see if I can come up with a solution. But that's not good. That YouTube must be treating them in a totally different way. A message from Brainless Steel NL. Hey, does it work for this one as well? Squinty smiley face. And that was for €2. Well, Brainless, it appears at first glance, it appears as though it is working most fully, which is good. It's grand. And then I've got another one from Anamorphic Mind. I daren't read it out. I better. It's for $6.66. Dun dun dun. And it says, I'm not saying Flatzoid was wrong, but Flatzoid was wrong. Yes, I think many people may agree with you, Mr. Mind. I being one of them. I mean, as I've said in the last couple of videos, I don't wish to be churlish, but I do feel a churl is coming on. And I do feel, I have to say, Flatsoid is not only wrong, he is wronger than any wrong thing in the history of wrongness itself. Definitely. Thanks for the super chat, pal. And okay, you're going to get it read out. Mr. Mike Jones has super chatted for $2. Thank you, Mike. Saying, glad we agree that a level establishes a horizon. Yes, Mr. Mike Jones. He's been sending me many messages, haven't you, Mike, on Discord or comments, and that's fine. I did say I was over on Bev's server a little earlier on, and we had a few messages backwards and forth, myself, Bev, and Mike, and a couple of others, and that was fine. But then it reached a point where I did say to Mike, done with your trolling, on ignore. And I did ignore him after that. Yeah, Super Chat does get it read, Mike. I'm not trying to get you to pay to have any attention. But you have paid, so you do get attention. That's fair enough, I suppose. Right, let's try and get this one time, so you don't have to pay again, okay? Right. A level, like a spirit level, establishes a horizontal. That tool happens to be called a level. Okay? Level, in the widest sense of the term, such as sea level, the surface of the sea, is level. It is at the same elevation, but it follows a curve because it follows the gravitational equipotential. Okay? So that meaning of the word level is not the same as a level, which does establish a horizontal at a point. Okay? So I hope you feel you have got your $2 worth. I've tried to be open and honest with you. Right. So did we... No, I don't know if I have to refresh this. I don't think I do. It looks as though they're popping up just as they appear, which is quite nice. It's just a shame, a real shame, about the the free super chats. I wonder if YouTube could be contacted to make them appear as super chats for $0. Okay, so they can still. I don't know what the limit is they put on the free chats for members. They can still apply that, but if they just gave them a nominal value, a cent or $0, just so they'll appear and be picked up by all the relevant tools, because they're obviously going into a different queue or whatever, which means that they then don't get pulled up in the channel monetization, YouTube's own thing. It doesn't work, but also, of course, with IFTTT. I've got to count how many T's there are. 3 T's. You can't have too many T's. I've got another one here, so that's good. That's very good. Well, I am hoping. Oh, how is Mr. Arnold doing? Full of parmesan, says Mr. Ace Fox 1. Yes, well, Arnold did enjoy the parmesoid for a few minutes. Then he sicked it up. Okay, which, to be honest, is probably all you can do with Mr. Flatsoid's information. Mr. Flatsoid's got a bit stroppy about it. He did quite a long response video. I'll be honest and say I haven't watched it all, because I said that was going to be my last response, although I dipped in a couple bits, and it mostly consisted of him just saying I didn't understand, or I was an idiot, or similar things to that. And we had a lot of comments going back and forth. And he seemed to be saying that I was changing. I don't want to misrepresent him. Not changing the challenge, but that I was claiming he had said something different. And I kept trying to point out that he had said that with the angle to the start, the angle of elevation, knowing you've got 90 at the zenith, then you can calculate your distance. And he had kept on saying use triangles and triangulation, which is something else. Leave that alone for now. And in the end, I said several times, this is it. Simply, angle. So you'd have to have the third angle at the star if you're using a triangle. What is the distance? And he has never, to this point, come up with an answer. And he was saying to people, "See, look at Mr. S's dishonesty. He's as dishonest as a 3-bob note." Yes. Right. I have Mr. Malert. I hope I say that right. I do try names. Let me know. You don't know, please don't super chat. I don't want you to super chat just to confirm. But I'll be interested to know how close I get it. Malert. Don't know. So, sorry, super chat $1.99 saying, it's the Bev show. No. It's not the Bev show. Although if Bev wants to come on and talk about not level equals horizontal, he's welcome to. And to stop saying that I'm chicken and running away and whatever that these guys were saying on the server, and then demanding that I should feel free to go into their voice chat, see I'm running away. I wasn't afraid to just jump into Dell's live stream the other day, a couple of days ago. Someone let me know he was doing a show about me, picking through a couple of my videos. So I joined in the chat a bit and said, "Well, I joined in just." He said, "I'd love Mr. Sensible to email me for a debate." So I went straight in the side chat saying, "What's your email address?" And it took several minutes before he realised I was there. It went back and forth a bit with him saying I should come on. So I went on, and I quite enjoyed it. I'll be honest. Dell was reasonable to talk to. He really was. There's a couple bits which happens when you're talking live with someone, of one person talking over the other. You know, I'm finishing a point and he starts, or probably the other way around as well. I can accept that. But it was a decent chat. Of course, his people have been saying that he wiped the floor with me, but I'll let you make your own mind up. You don't need to go and see it on Dell's. You don't need to give him the views. I have got a copy of it, and I will be releasing that as a sort of like a video in a few days' time, with me appearing in the corner. So I'll run a part of it and stop, and if anything needs explanations. Right, so there was another super chat. Oh, Mike Jones, you're soon becoming my favourite troll on Ignore. He super chatted again. Thank you, Mike, for $2, saying, "Tell us more how a level doesn't establish level." Does a vacuum cleaner establish a vacuum, Mike? I think not. Oh no, not at all. Well, you super chatted again. Hey, I'll give the same answer every time you super chat. It's going to cost you a penny. Well, more pennies. A level is the name for a tool. It could be called a spirit level. So is it establishing that spirits are level, or the level of spirits in that area? Interesting questions, Mike. It's just a name. The colloquial word for something that is horizontal, well, it is that it's level. There you go. Simple as. Ka-ching! Thanks, Mike. I think that's a new one. Thanks, Mike. We got thanks, Bob. We got thanks, Mike, as well. Right, I just realised I've got my actual live chat. Live chat was sort of on pause. Oh, I see. Mr. Mike Jones come up with another super chat. Shall I? I might rename this as Mike Jones's open super chat night. Here's super chatted again. Mike Jones, $2. Dell's isn't Bev's, little buddy. Why so scared? Well, by just going on to Dell's with no preparation, no other Globe Earth realists in the chat, just him on camera and his hordes of supporters. I just went in there and I chatted. Why don't you do the same? See if you've got the balls to do what I did on Dell's then. And I have already got the link to Bev's because I was in discussion. I've forgotten who I was in discussion with. Is it what's his name? Something. SE Montreal. SE Montreal. That is the same room, I think, isn't it? And he was quite polite, and we'd arranged that sometime I will drop in, and I will drop in. I'm happy to drop in. But when it's 20 minutes before I'm going live, and I've only come on the stream to issue an invite, that's probably not the best time to go in and get stuck into an argument in someone else's voice chat. There you go. And IFTTTTT has come up trumps again. Whoa. Mr. Dr. Osiris. you are officially the first tester of becoming a new member with regards to IFTTT. Thank you very much. Welcome, and I appreciate the support. Thank you, pal. Good evening, FE Peer Review. Right, so we're up to, well, it says 120, 116 people. So let's talk about something else. This new channel. I'm going to give you all a link to it. Okay, the channel exists. There's half a dozen subscribers already. Some intrepid people who, by special invite, were given a heads up in advance and have become subscribers. So in a few minutes I'll give you a link to the channel, and from now on I'll put a link to it in my video descriptions and the channel list on my YouTube homepage and so on, because it's a new channel. What I'll say is it is totally unrelated, okay? And in fact the whole flat earth, globe earth conspiracy thing is 100% off topic, and so anyone here, flat or globe, is welcome to join in, because you know, and whatever our views or opinions are of each other's views here, that's something else. It's not Mr. and Mrs. Sensibles. It's my channel together with my wife's, okay? And it's not related. So if someone comes on and trolls or keeps on going on about flat or globe and that sort of thing, then I'm afraid it will get squashed, muted and booted, because that's not what it's for. Mrs. S isn't interested in that, and nor am I on that channel, okay? It's pure entertainment, unrelated. So just taking someone like Bev for example, if he wanted to come on, I don't know, maybe it's something, you know, onto the channel to watch as a subscriber, because it's not a live streaming channel, then he'll be most welcome, and I would hope that he'd enjoy it. Okay, so what is it? It's called, drum roll, First Time Watching. You may have heard of them. It's a video stroke films, first time watching instant reaction review channel. So you'll see Mrs. S and I watching a film for the first time, and our reactions and commentary, and perhaps I'll get nagged a bit. You know, it's you'll get to know us a bit more, a lot more than you do now, I hope. I have seen. Yes, I've seen that he's actually sat in the live waiting room. I will get some people on in a while. I'm still hoping for some flat earthers. But anyway, I will get some people on in a short while, because, and I want to announce right now, the idea for this channel was given to me by Mr. Ranty Flat Earth, ex-Flat Earth. I can't get used to the name, Fluffspective, who we all knew, formerly known, that's right, formerly known as Ranty Flat Earth. He said, why don't you have a look at doing one of these channels? And I thought to myself, do you know what, that sounds like a damn good idea. I wonder if Mrs. S would be interested. So I said to Mrs. S, look, this Ranty chap, he suggested doing a channel to cover this. And she said, oh, we could do that together, couldn't we? What? Yeah, we could do that together. I thought there was going to have to be some, you know, veiled hints, bribery, arm twisting, etc. But oh no, she was totally up for it. So this is a bit like Monty Python at Swamp Castle. So we did a test video that fell down because we found we were watching a film, the first one we chose. I've forgotten what it was. 28 weeks later, we're watching it and we didn't say hardly anything because we were so engrossed in the film. So that was the first one, which fell down. Then we did another video, which was another horror film, because we thought we'd start off with a horror one because we get good reactions, especially from Mrs. S. And that burnt down, fell over, and then sank into the swamp and failed because of issues with YouTube. That's when I said to people, look, there's going to be a slight delay. I tinkered with it a bit, but it was still no dice. Then the third film, that was the strongest castle in all the kingdom. That one's good, and it's uploaded. It's not available yet. It's uploaded and ready on the channel. So the plan is, today is what is the day? Sunday. I tell you, it's awful working a random shift pattern. Sunday, isn't it? We are looking that we're likely to live premiere it on, I think I said to Ranty Tuesday or Wednesday, but I think I actually mean Wednesday or Thursday evening. Not sure which. Okay, it will be a live premiere. We're envisaging doing them all as live premiere, so we have a chat, so it's more interaction with people while it's happening. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to give you, because it's actually hard to find the channel right now because there's no videos. I don't know if YouTube just sort of disables it from search at this point. I'm going to post the link in the chat. Okay, here we go. We have 7 subscribers currently. I'd like to see a lot more. There you go. So open up that link, hit subscribe and notify, and that'll be an extra reminder on the Wednesday or Thursday when we actually run. There it is again. Would really like to see you there. I know that Mrs S will be pleased if we give the channel a flying start. It'd be nice. Here's a chance for some people who wish to become mods of a channel, okay? Because we're starting off from scratch with no mods. So the way I do mods currently is, firstly, if someone asks to be a mod, they never get to be a mod. At that, that will never. Yes, you're a mod. That never happens. They may become a mod later, but not for asking. Okay. So I would always. Oh, wonderful! I see a couple of subs and duns. Thank you, guys. Oh, I appreciate it. Really do. What I'll do is later on I'll give you an update of how many there is. 47 and counting? Really? Really? Let's have a quick look. Are you kidding me? 57. Oh, guys, that's wonderful. I'm really pleased for a channel that doesn't have any content. Well, it has content. It's just that you can't see it right now. Okay? That is really great. I appreciate that. Yes, we will check someone needs to remind me near the end of the stream to check the subscriber count. That would be wonderful. Yes, so mods. Gaylord Humperdinck, what did I just say to you? You don't listen at all, do you? Can I be a mod? No, the way I do it is I see people in the chat, okay? It's someone, I'm going to pick someone who is a mod. Tiny Captain, he's just appeared there, okay? He's someone who I've seen in the chat over a number of streams and comments. I see that they're a person who, makes fair comments, is not abusive to people and things like that. And at my decision, I think, do you know what, I could do another, because occasionally I lose a mod, either because someone asked it to no longer be one, that does happen, or if someone's gone off the rails, shall we say, and that has not happened often. Very rarely. But anyway, so I might think, do you know what, I need another mod. There he is, Tiny Captain. He seems to be a good chap. I'll make him a mod. That's how it has worked, okay? And I think generally it's worked very well. So on the new channel, I'll do similar. Now, most of the people in here, I do know. Obviously, not all of you. We get some new ones, which is always nice. So I'm not saying appear on there and you'll become a mod. Far from it. Okay, let's say, just for the sake of argument, we watch the stream as a live premiere and there's 10 people on there. I'm not going to make them 10 of them mods. Okay, because I wouldn't need that much. Right, thank you very much, Anthony from Brian. You just got yourself deleted. In fact, how can we do it? I think I've done it. So you're just banned. What's the point of that? What's the point of that? I don't know if you're the same person, but someone said that to me recently, and I can't remember why it was. And it was nothing to do with being anti-Semitic. Maybe someone saw the conversation because some other people actually responded to them saying, "What the hell do you mean? That's not anti-Semitic." Because I'm not anti-Semitic, and in fact, regarding the Jewish people, I thoroughly do not understand. I literally cannot understand why people have hateful feelings towards them. I literally can't. I have zero problem with people who are Jewish. Far from it. Okay? So when you accuse me of that, you are so off the mark, it's unbelievable. Okay? So I'd have no problem if I was single, meeting a woman who is Jewish. going out with and maybe ending up marrying. I'm not anti-Semitic. You total gimboid. Well, you spammed and got yourself banned. Idiot. Okay, well that's enough attention for you. I've forgotten what I was saying. Right, so mods. Yes, so on the new channel. Yes, Anthony, come back again. Keep coming back. Don't time if he's back again. As Charlie Welch has said, he needs to be right. If I pause that a second. Right, so if Anthony, once he's finished his pause, ban him. I hate doing that. I'm quite quite welcoming to people to have opposing views, and that's right. That's right. It's a little. Oh, do you know? I can't keep up with this chat. Right, there we go. Ban him. Idiot. You're not getting. Yes. Well, Alan Rhodes, it's quite difficult, but yeah, the mod's doing their best. Yeah, every time he comes up, ban him. How sad, how pointless. Right, anyway, I don't need to speak to him. I know that my fine mods will deal with him. Okay, so when he makes a post like that, no longer just time him out. There he goes again. Oh, right, you're obviously an anti-vaxxer as well. And remove. You carry on doing that and we'll carry on blocking you. Everybody look, laugh at the little troll. Laugh at the little troll. Right, to the new channel. So if you come on there, I will see names that I recognise, obviously. And I will pick some to be mods, okay? I will make an effort to try and pick some who aren't currently mods. So some may be a mod on both, but some may be mods on that channel and not on this channel. Okay, things may change over time. So anyway, the upshot is, if you're keen to be a mod, try modding. That'll be a good chance to be a bit noticed when there is a need for mods from the start. And as we can see, due to some idiots. Right, sorry. I don't know if someone has got banned by accident. S. Thurston, can you do a post? Let's see if we can. Yeah, if S. Thurston can do a post, see if you can still post. Otherwise, I do apologise. Yeah, see, there we go. Pathetic. Hey, you got no argument, have you? You can't prove the flat earth. What you got left? Oh, I know, I'd be a troll. I'd be a little troll. Right. So let's post the link again to the channel. So I'm hoping that it will be Wednesday. That's the current plan. You've now seen the name of the channel, first time watching. It will and is Mrs. Sensible and myself, but we're not Mr. and Mrs. Sensible. We will be ourselves. And as I said, flat globe and any arguments over here are just not relevant there. Okay? I'll tell you what, this Anthony, okay? Instead of doing that, I'm going to give you an opportunity that you don't deserve, but I'm going to give you an opportunity nonetheless. Okay? Come into the live waiting room and I'll bring you on live. And you can tell me why you think I'm an anti-Semite. I bet you £1 to a penny you haven't got the balls to do that, have you? Right, I'm going to get on Ranty, who's been sat there very patiently. And actually, there's two people. I'm going to get Ranty on first because I've just been talking about the channel. Then I'm going to bring on PJC Net. Okay? So PJC Net, that gives you a fair warning. You've not been on here before, so just in case you don't know, you obviously need a mic and ideally headphones or something. And when you come on, quieten your YouTube stream and just listen through headphones, otherwise we get feedback. So let's get on Ranty. Ranty, good evening to you. 1 second, make sure... Oh, I'm a professional, got the sound switched on. How are you, pal?
Hey, Mr. Sensible, how are you doing?
I'm really excited now. This channel's about to launch.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw you sent me a message, but I'll be honest, I haven't had a chance to look at it. So I don't know if
it
you're saying,
wasn't.
I don't know if you're saying, no, no, don't do it, don't do it.
No, it was literally just saying, "What time are you live?" This was at 2 minutes past 9, and then I just went onto YouTube, and you started streaming 2 minutes ago. I was like, "Oh, great,
Yeah, yeah. Well, you see, I waited until you were ready.
ah, perfect. I like that."
Right, I'm just going to adjust your volume a bit because for some reason you are blasting it, pal.
Oh, right, it might be because I'm eating the mic.
Well, no,
How's that?
if you're you carry on, and I'll adjust you to suit. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Yes. So first time watching. Finally, we can talk about it. I'm really grateful for the idea. I honestly am.
Oh, I love all those reaction channels. I absolutely love them, and I know I have seen your reactions already. So what can I say?
Yes.
I've
Yes.
definitely seen some of them.
Yes.
So
Mr. Ranty had a sneak preview. A sneak
indeed, I
preview
did.
of a bit. Yes. Yes. I managed to finish the rest, and that's uploaded and waiting and ready to go. So we're really looking forward to it. It was a fun thing to do. What was not fun was two attempts which turned out to be fail, but we learnt a lot.
Yes. The thing is to avoid the copyright. That's the hardest, or to trick the automated system. As long as you avoid that, you can always navigate it with fair use. So
Yes, yes, that's right. Because there is fair use. If I showed a 5 minute clip of the film and then just went, haha, that was funny, that's not fair use. But
true.
we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
No, and I've got to say that your dynamic, you and the missus, brilliant, really, really good.
Thank you.
And I have high hopes for your channel really taking off because I do know that those reaction channels, if you can get a good head start, and I know you've got a lot of subscribers here, so if a lot of them were to know where your channel was to hop over and subscribe and start watching your content, just to give you a bit of support over there. I know that YouTube like to push those kind
Yeah,
of channels out there, and I think that it would be really good for both of you. So I think it'd be a good. Obviously, you still keep the Mr. Sensible channel, but I think
yeah,
I
yeah.
think you
This
two
is
would
a
do really
different.
well with that.
It's a different thing, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
literally as far from this as you could get. So one is a pure fun and enjoyment, and the other is this debunking conspiracies, flat Earth, and things like that. They're just totally unrelated. The only difference, the only similarity is the presenter on each channel happens to have a fabulous hairstyle, and that's it.
Can I just say that before I even released any video at all as on regarding flat Earth, or even before that, when I was talking about chemtrails, even and I had like 400 videos on a different channel about chemtrails. So long before that, even I actually have two videos on a different channel, still up there actually, that are reaction videos. So,
Okay.
so,
Ah.
so I was actually doing well. I was actually into that and actually filming content and uploading it for that long before it really took off. So I'm really happy that you've decided to run with this because it's always been a bit of a
Well, it
passion
didn't.
of
It
mine.
didn't take. It didn't take long, did it? You told about the idea. I had a look at an example one, but while we were talking, but of course I didn't have the sound on, and like that, I thought, what's the point in this? And then after we finished our conversation, I thought, I'll actually watch 5 minutes of it just to give it a fair test, and wow, it was addictive. It is very addictive. I really enjoyed it. I've looked at a few others, many different styles, some of which I absolutely loved, some of which I thought, oh, I don't like that at all, and I actually couldn't watch them. But I think it's fun. It's great fun, and I hope people come on over and enjoy it.
I think they will. I mean, like I say, I've had a sneak preview, so I'm very lucky to have seen what you've already done so far. So what can I say except for it's really entertaining and your dynamics work great. And the fact that you two can just talk through the video and like I couldn't do that, I'd have to sit there in silence and my reaction videos aren't great, let's get it right. I'll just sit there silent all the way through.
Yeah, I think the problem might be getting us to shut up. I'm just going to read a couple more super chats. For $4.99 from Maxwell Hammer 5. Thank you, Maxwell. Just because of Anthony. Thank you. And thanks, Anthony, for spurring Maxwell to make that super chat. Good trolling, boy. And from Mr. Mike Jones. Mike, I tell you what, maybe you should save all this messing around and actually become a patron. For $2, saying, who is this Ranty guy and why is he interrupting? Who are you, Ranty, and why are you interrupting? Tell us.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was just having a very quiet conversation with a group of people, and then I was zapped into this room, and then you just started speaking to me. I mean, I was like hijacked from my conversation to come and talk to you.
Terrible, isn't it? Terrible.
Yeah.
So there you go. There you go, Mike Jones. I hope you're happy with your $2 answer there. Thank you. And second best, Bob. Thanks, Bob. Super chat £5 saying, I don't get it. Will we all be watching the movie with you or just watching your reactions? Well, if you've never seen one before, don't go looking, wait to see ours. But what it is, hitting the mic, it's a bit of both. You see bits of the movie, but you see our reactions. Ideally, it's a movie you've seen before. So, as me and Ranty were having a discussion the other day, to be honest, if it's a movie you know well, you probably don't need to watch the movie too much. You see clips of it. They're very short clips. They're occurring real time behind us. Sometimes they're blurred out a bit while we're talking and that sort of thing. So, at face value, it sounds very strange, doesn't it, Ranty? But it works. Yeah. It's fun.
It's entirely addictive, I have to say. I am subscribed to about 10 of those channels, and there are certain genres that I like to watch and films that I like to keep an eye out for. So every week or so, I'll keep checking just to see what they've put out again. And things like, I don't know, Lord of the Rings, let's say. Yeah. I love those movies. So I love watching people's reactions to different parts of the Lord of the Rings. Let's say when Boromir dies in the first film. Yeah. I like to see the reactions of how people reacted to that scene, how they felt when that, because I know that affected me. I felt sorry for Boromir passing at that moment. And when he called him my king, it was like, wow. Okay, so then I like to see people's reaction. Yeah,
and that's exactly it, because when you watch a film like that, you get that reaction, whatever your reaction is. When you watch it the second, he's going to die now, isn't he? That's it. You never get that first time again. So you can actually relive it vicariously through someone else seeing something the first time.
Yes.
Yeah. I never thought I'd use the word vicariously today. But I was also talking to my daughter earlier, and I was saying I'd probably managed to get the word floxinosinihilipification in. And I have. Wow. There we go. And Mr. Mike Jones, who not only is a super chatter, he's considering becoming a member and a patron now, but he's super chatting another $2. Does the Ranty guy agree? Okay, fair enough. Ranty, do you agree that level is horizontal?
Can I be very succinct when I say absolutely not?
There you go. I think that was more than $2 worth. Can you have some more money for Ranty, please? He used many words.
I have a Patreon too. Maybe.
That would be the way to do it. Yeah. And Anamorphic Mind again. Excuse me. Thank you. Super chat $5. I suggest watching and react to the new Beatles documentary, Get Back. Well, I tell you what, Anamorphic, I would love to see that. It does look as though it's going to be really good. Things that are absolutely brand spanking new are perhaps going to be a little harder because of copyright, but also things with music are going to be lethal with copyright, because obviously the copyright system can really pick up on beats and notes and so on. Yeah, but yeah, by all means, we will be open to suggestions. Okay, and Mr. 42. Quite right, Mr. 42. Super chatted €2. And why is Mr. 42 super chatted €2? He says, here's my fine for being late. Sorry about that. All right, pal. All is forgiven. All is forgiven. Yes, so we're really, really looking forward to it, Ranty. Really are. It's a cracking idea. I've sort of seen them before, one appears in the listings, and I've never even looked at them. Never even looked at them. Oh, it's about Lord of the Rings or whatever. I know that film. I've watched that film. Didn't think twice about it. But wow, yeah. So
Good.
really keen, really keen. There's a guy in. I don't know if you chatted with him when you were sat in the waiting room. PJC Net. Did you speak to? I don't know if he was.
I think he was being very quiet. I think I was talking to George.
Yeah.
George.
George Dawes.
Nutchak.
Natyuk.
Natyuk.
Yes. I got caught on that once. Only once. I do try with names. Natyuk. Yeah. Okay. Look. Let's. Yeah. PJC Net's just unmuted himself. Let's get him in here. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. Hello, PJC Net. Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, and you said, go on, can you just say something else so I can balance your sound a bit?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Good evening and welcome, PJC Net. Right, first of all, I don't want to get you confused with anyone else. Were you someone who, you were someone, weren't you, who on this channel in chat, and are you from the Flat Earth side? I can't remember.
From the Flat Earth side.
Yeah. Okay, which is fine, which is welcome to the channel anyway. But we had a bit of to and fro, didn't we, in the chat between you and other people, and maybe mods, I don't know. But it's all settled down, isn't it? And you're in here quite frequently commenting with no problem at all.
Yeah, this is the first time I've actually been on any live stream ever on a mic.
Well, there you go. It sounds nice and clear. Welcome. He's a live chat virgin, no more. Well, yeah. Well, I hope you feel welcome. This is, as you must have seen over the weeks that you've been, appearing in the chats. I like to think this is a fair and open place. You know, if you're totally reasonable, which you have been in chat, which you have been so far here on Voice, of course, that's absolutely fine. Unlike that, whoever that other idiot was spamming crap earlier. That's not acceptable, of course. I'm sure you'd agree.
Yeah, that's an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, so, well, this is Flat Earthers Open Mic Night. So is there any particular aspect that you want to talk about, or any particular thing you want to challenge either myself or Ranty, if you're up for it, Ranty? Because we can talk to you, we can disagree with you. That's fine. You can disagree with us.
Well, I wasn't prepared, but
No.
I suppose I came and I just saw this counting down to this. So I suppose Mage 2.
Okay, yeah, so you saw that then?
I did.
Yeah.
But the only thing I can see at the moment, which I think you'll dismiss, is the camera perhaps at different extreme temperatures when it actually gets to a height, actually through expansion and contraction of materials. Could the actual lens actually distort the image?
Well,
by actually temperature.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Well, I'll tell you what, that's the first time I've heard that mentioned. Well, that's an interesting point, and not something I've actually looked into. My gut feel, I mean, you said you weren't prepared, and that's of course not, and I'm not prepared for that either. My gut feel is that, I mean, you're talking about expansion and contraction. Well, at launch, if I recall, it was about 12 degrees. On its way up, it went down to about, was it about minus 30? May not have been quite that low, something of that order. But then as it went higher up, it actually went to just positive. So most of the time, it wasn't too cold. But, hey, PJC, I don't know. That's a really interesting point. But although what I would say is if the lens, due to temperature, was causing a distortion of the horizon, it would also have caused the same distortion of the strings, which were in view as well.
That's what I thought you'd say.
Well, hey, that's fair enough. I think that's an interesting point. I tell you, it's a damn sight more interesting than a point that one of the guys over on Bev said tonight, because they posted 2 images from Mage, and they circled a horizon image on one and a horizon image on the other, showing it to look the same at 2 totally different heights. One was at a few thousand feet and the other was right near the top. Until I pointed out that it said, this is one of the little 2 camera views at the top, I said, look closely, what does it say? And he says, altitude and altitude max. No, look in the other circle. What does it say? Wide cam. Yeah, wide cam. It's not the experimental cam, it's the one that bends and flexes all over the place. So all they did was pick 2 images where it happened to look flat or look the same. So that proved nothing. You know, I am honestly open to proper challenges. And I will say again that Mr. Bryan's logic, he did a mage challenge. Most of it he was incorrect on, but he had spotted that the temperature at the peak appeared to be warmer than it should be. And it looked as though the temperature sensor either was just not, brilliantly accurate. It was not a super expensive thing, or it was misreading in some way. And I said, yep, fair enough. Yeah, that's reading too high. Credit to him for spotting that. And so, credit to you for putting forward what is actually a sensible question. It is. Would you agree, Ranty?
I would actually. Yeah, it was different to what I would have expected from a flat earther to come in and say. That's for sure.
Yeah, because on PJC, lots of things we've had is people just saying, "Oh, I can't see curve," when it's blatantly obvious that for whatever the reason there is a visible curve there. Then you have to argue the toss. Why is it? Is it due to camera distortion? Is it due to perspective or whatever else? But they would just say, "Nah, can't see it." And when you could see a drawn on straight line and a visible curve next to it, that was a silly argument. Yours is not a silly argument. It may or may not be correct. I think it's incorrect because, as I said, I think it would affect the strings. But good shout. I'd have to say good shout.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Well, there's a really, really serious debate going on currently. I don't know, but PJC Net, do you know? Obviously, you're a flat earther. Do you know Jeranism?
I don't know him personally. I don't usually watch him, to be honest.
All right, okay.
But I know him. I know of him, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's got like 150,000 subs, hasn't he? He's got quite a lot.
Super popular.
Yeah. Do you know Jake the Asshole?
I do.
Sorry, was that a yes or no?
I do, yeah.
Ah, right, okay. Because there's
I don't know him personally. I follow him.
Well, there's quite a big controversy going on. I don't know if you've seen what's what the challenge was from Jeranism. I mean, whose side of the argument would you be on that in that case?
Sorry, Ranty, can you just explain whatever this challenge is, because I'm not aware of it?
Oh, right. So there's a challenge for the channel. So Jeren wants Jake the Asshole gone from YouTube. Jake the Asshole wants Jeren gone from YouTube. So Jeren has made a challenge, and he's going to give Jake the Asshole a bonus. He's going to give him 3 additional inches. And what he wants is he wants to measure their dick sizes to see who has the biggest dick. And the one with the biggest dick gets to stay on YouTube.
Oh dear.
And that was a challenge put out by Jeranism, really, literally.
Wow.
Whilst he also gave him an additional 3 inches. So I think from an outsider's point of view, I think 3 inches is quite a fair chunk of change there, isn't it? What do you think? Do you think he should go for that?
That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I've actually got a couple of super chats. One is pertinent to what you were saying, PJC. But the first one is from Mike Jones, yet again. Wow, he's great, is Mike. He's ignored elsewhere, but he's a great friend of the channel. Mike Jones super chatted $2. He said, "Did you pay this guy, or is he related to you?" What, Ranty? Because Ranty happens to like the idea that he gave to me. Wow. Yeah. So Ranty gave me an idea. I agreed it's a good idea. He agrees with me. We agree with each other most fully. And you're wondering why we're on here agreeing. A strange question. But the other one, pertinent to you, PJC. Mr. Jeff C. super chatted $5 Canadian. He said, "As a photographer, temperature does not distort the lens. I've taken pictures at plus 30 and minus 30 C with no distortion in the image." So, because I'm not a photographer, I did think it was unlikely about the glass distorting, but, it's a reasonable question to ask. You've got to rule stuff out. Oh, and Mike Jones, Mike Jones, super chatted $2 saying this conversation doesn't seem safe for kids. Yeah, possibly not, Mike. Well, off to bed with you. I don't think there's anything unsafe about this conversation.
Well,
Okay.
I do think it's a very important subject that they're discussing currently. I mean, forget flat Earth and all. I mean, this is internal flirf wars, and this goes on quite a lot. I mean, you know, if you add up who hates who, I mean, it's a who's who. I mean, let's say Dell from Beyond the Imaginary Curve pretty much hates everyone. Nathan, well, he's all for himself. QE just
Actually,
hates the world.
I think Nathan is so full of hate he probably hates himself. Yeah. And sorry, and QE, he's probably looking for a quote for that.
Yeah, QE hates everybody, globe earthers and flat earthers alike. You know, he doesn't have any loyalties with anybody, that guy. Bob from Globebusters is pretty friendly with most, but he doesn't like Nathan. So it's just these internal wars. It's crazy. I mean, all these content creators hated each other, and they're supposed to be on the same side. What can I say?
Yeah. The thing is, there's no need for hate. There really isn't. I mean, PJC, right? We're having a polite, respectful discussion where, okay, we've not particularly disagreed. You put forward a question and I've answered it, whatever. But we could be disagreeing totally, and that's absolutely fine. I don't hate you if you have a different view. You know, you might think I'm an idiot. I might think you're an idiot. You might call me a silly name, make fun of my hairstyle. I might call you a chuff nugget, but that's it. It doesn't go beyond that. If you happen to be passing through, I'd happily sit in a pub and have a pint with you. You know, it's not a problem. But some of these people are literally stuffed full of hate. I'm not sure how much is real with someone like Nathan and how much is him trying to be a shock jock and just get people riled up so that they interact. I don't know. But he doesn't seem like a very nice person to me.
But it's an interesting question, though, PJC Net. If you was to discuss the current situation about how you felt the current flat earthers are, you know, the content creators, what would you say? Would you say it was a healthy environment, or would you say that they should grow up and start working together? What would you advise?
It's not a healthy environment, but it's partly because people like Jaron are pushing maps like the AE map and stuff which they know's wrong, and that's part of it.
So you're an opponent of the FE map.
The AE map, sorry.
Sorry, the AE map. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they know it's wrong, and they're still pushing it. I think they push it because I think they're in it for the money and the fame.
Well, maybe you could tell us why it's wrong.
Well, for a start, there's only one. It only works with one polar rotation. And there's two.
And who would you say, if you had to list some of the channels that promote the AE map, who would you say that they are also wrong? If you had to choose,
Well,
you've said Jaron.
You've got David Rice. I'm trying to think who else. I think Globebusters as well. Quite a few. Most of them actually push the AE map.
So PJC, actually, is it PJC? It seems a bit of a mouthful. Is it okay just to call you PJ? Or
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, okay. So you accept 2 points of rotation then?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Which I think, how can you not? Obviously you do, but so many flat earthers don't. So 2 points of rotation. So if you have 2 points of rotation of the stars, like we see around Polaris and the southern celestial point, how can you have 2 points on a flat object? How do you equate the two?
It's difficult. The only way I could see it could work is if the sun isn't an object which you think it is, like a physical object.
Okay. Would you have any?
And everything else, like all the luminaries.
So what? I mean, what do you think about? I mean, okay, let's take stars. Do you have any any thoughts on what they are, and especially what sort of distance they are? And listen, PJ, you're not on here just to get totally bashed. That is not what we're trying to do. Just having an interesting conversation, okay? Yeah. So I just wondered what your thoughts are. Maybe you've got no thoughts on it, and that's fine too.
And just so you know that I'm an ex-flat earther, so I've been in your situation too, and I know these guys. I know who you're talking about. I know probably where you're coming from when you're trying to explain something you currently don't have an answer for. So you can always speculate. That's one thing that nobody can stop you doing is speculating. So if you want to speculate, fine, that's great. As long as you say that you caveat that with ultimately I don't really know, but if I was to try and explain it, it would be this way.
It is difficult to know exactly what the stars are at the moment. I mean, I would say my biggest skepticism of it being a globe is I don't think people are going into space.
Well, that's interesting. Have you heard of a guy called Yusaku Maezawa? I think that's how you say it. I think he's a billionaire, and he's the one who offered free tickets for 6 people. I applied, didn't get through. Free tickets for 6 people to have one of these orbital. Beyond orbit. It's a flight around the moon and back, and in fact, in a path that would actually take them further than Apollo went. But anyway, meanwhile, he's paid X million dollars, and I think yesterday or the day before, he actually arrived at the ISS. He is sending tweets and videos from the ISS now. He's up there right now.
So to say, yeah.
Well, okay. I'll tell you what, I'd really like to talk about this. I genuinely would. I'll just read a couple of super chats from Steve64 for $5 says, could we get Spielberg to direct Flirth Wars? Yeah, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Yeah. The Flat Earther Strikes Back? Or Nathan Oakley Strikes Back. Revenge of the Cheese. We could do it. And Nimrod, and possibly his cat as well, has just super chatted 20 Swedish krona. I'm enjoying a 6-month-old cheddar with my cat. Oh, isn't that nice? That's lovely. Thanks, Nimrod. You enjoy that cheese. Yeah. So I did a video, PJ, going back, a year and a half or something like that, with my daughter. We looked at a website to get the predicted paths of the ISS, which anyone can do. You put in your location, it tells you the time it's going to pass over you, how long it will be in view, how bright it will be, the position it will start, the position it will end, and it gives you a map showing you against the stars. And so fortunate it was going to pass between where the moon and Venus was. So it was perfect. You had the two of them to use as a way of lining up and knowing where it would go. I filmed it with my phone. And my daughter filmed it with her camera. It was absolutely beautiful. And you could do that because I can't think of another explanation of how, I could be here somewhere in central England and know, for instance, on the 1st of January at 10 p.m. it's going to pass over. And then someone could be in Germany and they would know on the 1st of January at 5 minutes past 10 or whatever, it was going to pass over them. And then over in China, they could know that at 10 past 10, do you know what I mean? That's the only way for an object to be there and to travel at that speed and absolute predictability. I can't think of any other way, any other thing.
What about the angular resolution of considering it's supposed to be over 250 miles in altitude, isn't it?
Something of that order, yeah.
Yeah, and the angular resolution, you'd expect it to be smaller, surely, based on its size.
Well, all you're seeing is a bright reflection. You think, those sort of military signalling mirrors, or even, on a sunny day, and you're looking across a valley or whatever, and there's a car, and it just the windscreen just catches the sunlight, and you get a bright flash against black background. All you're going to see is a bright point of light, and that's what you see. To the naked eye, it looks like a star, or in fact, more like a planet in that it's not twinkling, It's just a very bright one. You can't make anything out by eye. But actually, we're talking about Jeranism. You know what he did? He used one of those websites, worked out where it's going to be, got a telescope and a camera, and he filmed the ISS as it transited. We did it several times, transited both the sun and the moon, and got a beautiful picture of it where you can see all the solar panels and so on. And then he made some excuse. He said, well, yeah, it's there. There's an object there when they said, but I don't know what it is. But yeah, I mean, you can with some reasonable equipment actually make out the shape of it, which is quite special.
You don't think there's any way that they could be projecting it up there somehow, because they have technology. We don't know what technology they've got to be able to do.
I really don't think so. Sorry, I do actually apologise. Doran Koo said, did I miss? I presume it's a super chat at 9:45. Either I missed it or your IFTTT is ignoring me. I didn't see it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a quick... Oh, crumbs. I'm trying to use the old system just to get...
Do you want me to read it for you?
Well, is it... well,
From Lucas?
No, not that. Oh, from Dora. I read Mr. 42. So I'm just trying to find out to see if it's in here. So there was Mr. 42. Apologies for being late. Which Dora, it is in there. That was me. That's down to me missing it. I'm going to change the format by putting in some extra characters so it separates the messages. My apologies. Yeah, Dora did super chat. €5 was talking about that new channel. Go and subscribe if you haven't. Saying, Mr. Sensible, how hard is it to insert the time code of the movie so people can watch along maybe? Use your superior knowledge. Well, Dora, what some people do, I haven't tried to do it for this one, but what some people do is for patrons, they release the full unedited version. So a lot of it you'd see us sitting there just watching it, but you could start it at the same time and then just go along and you'll get the reactions real time. So that is a possibility. What I might do is actually join a channel just as a test to see what it's like and see if I think it'd be worth it. But then people might want to, even if it isn't something I'd enjoy. I don't know. Yeah, so you could do that. If you were using timecode, you'd be jumping an awful lot, whizzing along every few seconds. But a full unedited version, it would have to be uploaded somewhere else because YouTube would kill it in a shot. Definitely. But thanks for super chat. And my apologies, I just literally missed that one, Dora. And while I'm on it, there's another one that's come in from Lucas, as Ranty just hinted, for $5 saying, assuming Flat Earth is correct for a second, does PJ think that it's more likely the sun is an unknown thing versus the kind of object science accepts, i.e. a star? Yeah, so what do you reckon? Assuming it's flat, PJ.
More likely to be some sort of unknown object, non-physical, something we haven't explained yet.
Have you heard of things? What is it they call when they split the light of from stars and the sun using a prism, so you can see the Fraunhofer lines. What's the word for that? Do you recall what the word is, Ranty? Oh gosh.
Wait, say again, sorry.
You know when you split the light of a star, so you get the rainbow, and you can see the dark lines, which are Fraunhofer lines. I've forgotten what the word is for that. But have you ever seen that, PJ? So it looks like a barcode. So you haven't? Okay, yeah.
I've seen rainbows and prisms splitting light, but
yeah. So what you do is you take the light from the sun, and you put it through a prism, so you get that rainbow. Okay. If that rainbow is sort of spectroscopy, thank you, people. It just escaped me. You can see in that rainbow little black lines. It looks similar to a barcode. Okay, but what they discovered, maybe it was Mr. Fraunhofer, I don't know. What they discovered is every element, such as hydrogen, helium, and so on, has its own sort of barcode pattern that's within there. So if you were just shining light through a cloud of hydrogen, you would get a specific pattern of this barcode. And so you can shine the light of the sun, take little bits of that barcode, and match it up. Say, right, well, it's got hydrogen in it. It's always got a little bit of this. It's got tons of that, and a little bit of xenon or whatever other gas. So you can literally, just by the light, tell what the star is made up of. So you can tell it's made of real elements, and it's not, for instance, a hologram or some. I know you're not saying necessarily hologram, but you can tell it's a real object from that.
I don't know enough about that.
Okay.
To comment at the moment.
Well, perhaps sometime have a look at that spectroscopy of the sun. And someone has just said, sorry, I just read it. We've bounced radar off it, so it must be something solid. And of course, we get things like comets. We can see a comet coming in from, out beyond the outer planets, going in a path, an orbital path, which passes round, loops past the sun. So again, we know the sun's affecting the path of objects passing through.
These comets, they come back every so many years.
Some of them, yeah. Some can be very frequent, but then they burn out more quickly. You get some, like, say, Halley's comets, which is every sort of 76 years, but some could take hundreds or even thousands of years to come back again. And some will literally fly in from interstellar space, past the sun, and fly out, and we'll never see them again.
Crazy that you can actually have a comet come back every exactly so many years with everything that's supposed to be moving.
How do you mean? What do you mean with the sun moving along?
With everything moving, and yet, for instance, Halley's comet comes back every so many years.
Yeah, but
how does that work?
Well, think of it. If you're the sun, okay, and think of a comet as something tied to the end of the string. They don't go in circular paths, but it will do just for the explanation. So you swing it around your head, okay? That's it, orbiting around. But then if you're sat in a car driving along, swinging it around, it's still going along with you in the car. Basically, the sun and the planets are going around it, are all going along, travelling along together. They're all locked together due to gravity.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting stuff, PJ. It really is. Yeah, it's fascinating, and there's tons of information out there. From you might know a lot about one thing and not much about something else. For instance, and I'm being totally honest, with regard to sextants, before all this stuff came up with Mitchell from Australia, what did I know about sextants? Oh, they used to use them in the olden days. Oh, and perhaps they still have them on ships now. That was about it. But so I just learnt about it. So, that there's nothing to be embarrassed about not knowing something. I'd like to say, openly admit, I knew nothing about sextants before. I know probably more than I'll ever really need to now. So, yeah, find out about these things. Oh, yes, Mike71 says Jupiter sucked in a comet when it came in too close. Yeah, that was Schumacher-Levy. Do you remember that happening? That was quite a few years back now. It was a comet that's come back a few times, and it broke up. So it was in half a dozen, well, probably more than that. It was in a number of pieces, all going along in one like a train of comets. And they predicted it was going to hit Jupiter, and it did. It smashed into Jupiter over several hours. Different chunks hit Jupiter, and caused ructions in the cloud patterns that were there for hours and maybe days. So we know that comets are real. And of course, we landed a probe on a comet.
So to say, I've seen pictures of Jupiter at different times that have got the same cloud patterns, the same, which they've done something, because the cloud patterns were in the same place that are supposed to be at different times, but I haven't prepared to be able to get.
No, that's okay. Now, someone brought that up. I can't remember who it was. I was talking to a while back. Maybe you saw it. They were over on my channel. I was on the debate. I can't remember. Oh, I know. It was. Oh gosh, what's his name? The guy who he just played a 20-minute video. I can't think of his name now. Conspiracy Cats debated him as well, and I think he cut it short. But yes, I did see that. But I believe. I can't remember the details now. But there was a valid explanation for it. I know you haven't prepared, I haven't prepared, but yeah. J Max says, wasn't the big red spot caused by an impact? I don't know. It's a storm that's been going on for hundreds of years, isn't it? So I guess we don't know what actually caused it to start, but they do get other storm spots, lots of white ones in particular. It's a fascinating thing. How can a storm stay like that, so stable? I don't know. I don't understand it. But there we go. I've had another super chat from Arian Soldust. I hope I said that right, Arian, saying, Are flat earthers ridiculous, or do they have a point? If they are ridiculous and stupid, why spend so much time disproving it? If they have a point, why not discuss the topic as adults? I think that's fair comment. PJC Net here is discussing it. We are discussing it as an adult, as adults, and that's absolutely fine. I wish we could with more of them. Conan, I see. Oh, hold on a second. Conan, I see someone is in the live waiting room and it says they're live. I don't know quite what that is. Perhaps you could find out. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, so we're having a pleasant discussion. It's quite interesting. You know, we can all learn something from discussing things, can't we, guys?
Indeed.
Yeah,
I would like to know what PJ's best proofs are for a flat Earth, actually.
Wow, you put me on the spot a bit here.
We have. We're not going to hold you to. Listen, PJ. Right. Can I just say, big respect to you, okay? Because you first came to this channel, you know, as a flat earther, quite angry with our side. You reached a point where you're sort of living here and coming whenever you want, and all's fine. And now you've come onto the chat and done me the honour of trusting that I'm not going to just shout and abuse you and try and embarrass you or anything like that, because I really don't want to. And that's great. That's brilliant. Yeah. So if you haven't got any proofs or whatever, yeah, none of us are prepared for this. A bit like Kent Hovind. I'm sorry, I'm not prepared for that, but we're just having a chat. So,
could I speculate with what might be one of the main arguments would be that you see too far? Would you agree that that's perhaps one of the most compelling things for you with these observations of distant land masses and shore-to-shore observations from people with P1000s, P900s and stuff like that?
Some of the observations, it's possible, but I understand how refraction works as well. And I've also seen arguments as to why objects might disappear from the bottom first, even on a flat surface. So I'm like looking into that at the moment.
Okay, so that was what I looked into when I was a flat earther. That was what I basically just stuck to for years, was looking into that one phenomena, about trying to explain other reasons for why we see things disappearing from the bottom up. Because I accepted the globe argument a bit like you. You know, I accepted that, the globe Earth argument was refraction. So, why is that not so? Why would you say that isn't such a big, compelling argument for yourself?
Do you mean seeing into the distance further than you should?
No, I mean accepting that if you understand that refraction is a fact of life, or at least a very good argument for the globe, then shouldn't that just allay any issues with seeing distant land masses and stuff?
Not certain, because some of them seem to go beyond what refraction would explain. Just refraction on its own.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you have standard refraction, obviously, 7.6R, but there are different days, different conditions, different gradients of refraction. Some days you'll have stronger refraction, and some days you won't have as much refraction. So you won't actually see anywhere near as far. Would you think that that's a possibility, knowing how refraction works?
It's also possible that it could actually work. Things could actually disappear from the bottom up and it still be flat.
Okay. What channel do you go to for your information, by the way?
Few. I've had a little bit of a fallout with Awake Souls. They think I'm a shill.
I've not heard of them.
Oh, you don't want to know that they're very nasty people when they want to be. I had a bit of a falling out with them at one point. It was quite public for a time, but they were arseholes. But no, I was going to suggest to you, look, if you want to look into those things, if you want to look into some of the refraction arguments across water, some of the channels that you might want to look into, at least that are doing research, actually getting out there and doing stuff. There's a channel called Sky Free. Now, I don't know if you've heard of them. That's SKY space FREE Sky Free. They basically go into a lot of the arguments that I did, but they recreate things with a small boat. And yes, you can get effects, things like the inferior mirage and things like that, very evident. But I mean, when you start seeing these windmills that are splashing the water, the wind turbines in the distance, how can you account for that? How is things missing that much from the bottom up when you see those wind turbines hidden right up to the hub?
I don't know, because I'm not sure whether it can actually happen even on a flat surface due to perception.
But you just said a magical thing there, PJ. I don't know. That's the best question to if you don't know something, that's the best question to ask, because the next step is, so I'm going to try and find out. That's wonderful. You cannot criticise you for that. Really can't. I've actually had two messages come in, which I don't want to miss. The first one is from Second Best Bob. It's one of the freebie ones, so I don't get the alerts. He's been a member for 17 months. Thanks, Bob. And he says, ask PJC Net how he first got into flat Earth. So if we can consider that for a second. And Jeff C has super chatted $5 asking, what's your position on relative density disequilibrium, the stuff that Anthony Riley and Mitchell in particular, I think, are pushing. So yeah, could you tell us how you got into flat Earth, if you don't mind? If you don't want to, that's fine too.
First of all, I watched a few probably videos I don't agree with anymore. Eric DeBay and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And first of all, I dismissed it. First of all, I went away, thought, nah. I looked up the other side of it, the globe side, and I saw all these debunks of, nah. So I walked up, and it played on my mind for a good few months. And in the end, I came back and listened to some more, and then I thought, maybe there's something to this. And then, first of all, I fell for the AE map, and now I know it's not the AE map. So I know Eric DeBay's talking a load of rubbish and all them lot. And now I'm more globe skeptic, because I'm not really sure of the map, but I don't think it's a globe.
Would you say that you're conspiracy minded? I mean, were there other conspiracies that you would look into prior to looking into the flat Earth?
A long time ago, yes. The first one, I mean, can I talk about things like... First time I suspected something was wrong was probably Princess Diana's death. And then the big one was, am I allowed to mention other events?
I'm not sure what you're talking about. If you're talking about... Well, you can mention a word. What word are you thinking of?
Like a date.
Sorry?
9/11.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. So you've mentioned it, so we know what you're talking about. So yeah, I won't go into it on this channel, but you've been asked. Just what were your thoughts on it then?
So you want me to detail about what my thoughts of 9/11 was?
Well, I don't. Yeah.
Well, not necessarily. I mean,
yeah, not detail. Just I believed it because.
Well, or after 9/11, what was it? The next event after that? Would it have been looking into free energy? Would it have been looking into things that come out of the back of an aeroplane? Was it that kind of trail that you followed to end up on
trail? I see what you did there.
Well, it's more who our leaders are and what they're doing, who's really running the world, what their agenda is. Things, the world's a stage, isn't what we think it is.
So what, new world order stuff? So from what Ranty's asked, and without wishing to be at all rude, then PJ, it does sound as though you're someone who, well, does follow conspiracies, takes very alternative opinions from perhaps the masses of people. Is that fair? I'm not trying to label
Correct.
you.
It's correct, but there is a lot of evidence that things like 9/11 isn't as what was portrayed.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of evidence.
Well, I'm sure that there are. I know that there are channels that discuss that. So if anyone's interested in that, I'm sure they can search YouTube and have a look and find out about it. I mean, I'm happy that we discussed it to that level, but I don't want to go into any detail. Yeah, no, and I appreciate you being circumspect about it. I really do.
Yeah.
Could I ask one last question?
Of course you can, Ranty.
Right, one last question. Without getting into too many words or anything like that, it's just a simple yes or a no answer. Have you had the jabs? Just yes or no? And I know that you'll know what we're talking about.
Well, of course not.
Okay. Fair enough.
Can I, with regard to that, is again, this isn't a channel which goes into that sort of stuff, but just at a high level, is it that, for instance, for religious reasons, is it that perhaps you just don't think that they'll work, or do you think that there's some sort of control aspect? You know, what sort of direction are you coming from?
Got to be very careful because I don't want to get you any strikes.
Okay, all right, that's fair enough. No, I appreciate that, PJ. Really do. Okay, but okay, so you're coming from a position of someone who hasn't taken it for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Nefarious reason would it be? Let's just say yes or no.
Nefarious.
A nefarious reason, right? Now that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense from what I understand of the flat earthers. Yeah. Okay.
Ranty. Multi Tom Tom, I don't know why you're saying weird stuff like that in the chat. Just got a message hidden. Strange. Can you read the title up here, Multi Tom Tom? Flat Earthers Open Mic. Perhaps you could come on and tell us where that undebunkable video that is now literally coming on 2 years. I've been waiting for it. You still haven't produced it. It must be a cracker. I guess there's loads of evidence you're having to get in there and edit. Anyway, yeah. So the other question, PJ, was that one was the one from Jeff. He was asking what your thoughts were about the relative density disequilibrium. Do you accept gravity, or do you think it's just density that causes it, or do you think it's something else that causes things to move downwards towards the Earth?
I'm not sure. Relative density on its own doesn't explain everything because there is a definite up and down.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. Why can some of those, many of those, not see that?
But I don't think it's. I think there's more to it than just gravity as portrayed. I don't really know what's actually causing everything, but I actually, if I had to guess, I would say we live in a simulated environment.
What, sort of like the Matrix, that sort of thing?
It's similar to that.
And of course, if we were, how would we know?
That's
would we
the
know?
thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when you think about, just thinking of my, I don't know if you were here at the top of the stream. I was talking about after I had my jab, my booster. I was actually suffering hallucinations. All we're doing is we're processing signals to the brain. My signals were messed up, so I was believing all sorts of strange rubbish. So yeah, if we were in a matrix, we would feel, smell, hear whatever signals were piped to us. Absolutely. That's the fascinating thing about the film. I think they're brilliant films. Looking forward to seeing the new one out just before Christmas. Definitely.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, I've also had some more super chats. You guys are very generous. Thank you, Mr. Well, I assume I shouldn't say Mr. or Mrs. unless I know. Flox MFPV has super chatted €5, saying, if we live on a flat Earth, how can you see a different part of the moon in different locations, but it always stays the same in the same location? I think he's talking about, for instance, in Australia, the moon looks upside down. South of the equator. If it was, I know. Yeah, if we were in one part of the world and moved across, if it was a sort of a local moon above a flat Earth. Over here I see the left-hand side of it. Over there I see the right-hand side of it. But in fact, we always see the same face. That's what he's getting at. But what's more, upside down in certain parts.
That's difficult, but the only thing I can think of at the moment is we're not actually seeing a physical object as portrayed the same as the sun, and we're seeing it locally from where we actually are. But caught me on the spot because I'm not prepared for this.
That's okay. Listen,
I didn't expect to be answering all of them.
No, I know, and you're doing really well. You're doing really well. You're opening. Like I said, saying I don't know is a totally valid position to hold. It really is, and yeah, you haven't come on here to be beaten. I mean, not being funny. If you came on here shouting the odds and, well, not necessarily swearing, but really having a go at me, sort of, no, you're wrong because of X, Y, Z, then I'll fight back and say, no, I'm right because of ABC. And that's fine. Right now, we're just having a nice chat, and that's totally cool. Totally cool. Yeah, because with that, I'd say, well, how could the moon cast a shadow so that we have lunar eclipses? And how could we cast a shadow solar eclipses, and how could we cast a shadow on the moon causing lunar eclipses if it wasn't a solid object? Yeah, many interesting things.
The lunar eclipses. I mean, that it doesn't actually. You can still see the moon when it's when the supposedly shadow is on the moon.
Yes. So on a lunar eclipse, we can still see the moon and we can see the shadow.
It changes colour, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Can often go sort of reddish and that.
Is that actually the shadow of the Earth, or is that a particular place in the sky which it's actually travelling through that makes it change into that colour?
No, it's the shadow of the Earth. And in fact, if you look at sort of time-lapse photography on a partial lunar eclipse, you can actually see the curve of the Earth as it passes across the face of the moon. And of course, we know the distance of the moon, we know the speed the moon's travelling, we know its orbit, so they can predict donkey's years ahead when it's going to pass into the shadow and whether it will be a total eclipse or a partial eclipse. And it happens at the exact time that they said, and you can see it from the exact places. It's literally orbits and geometry. So with some very fancy maths that is certainly way beyond anything I can do, you can calculate where it is. So it has to be something in a certain location, moving in a certain path for us to be able to predict it. I had another super chat from Second Best Bob. Thanks, Bob. This one's actually to you, Ranty. But I appreciate you being circumspect. It says, "What's Ranty's view on 9/11?" So I guess do you accept the given story of the terrorist attack, or do you think it was something else?
What's my view on 9/11? Well, I know that 3,000 people died. It was a terrible event that I don't want anybody else to ever have to go through, and that for 20 years it's affected probably millions and millions of people worldwide. The knock-on effects of what happened on that day. So it's changed history, that one event.
Hasn't it just?
Yes.
And Bosphus de Brun super chatted £5 saying, messed up the first one, so trying again. How does PJ explain the photo of the sun by, Hippolyte Fizeau and Leon Foucault if the sun is a projection? I don't recall what that photo was. Do you know what that photo was, Ranty? Was it one of the first photos of the sun? Sorry, I really don't know.
No, I don't know that. Let me read that. Was it a super chat?
I'll tell you what. Let me just.
How does the photo of the sun by?
Oh, you found it. Yeah.
Leon Foucault. If the sun is a projection. I don't know what that was.
Nor do I. I'm going to do a quick Google. Hey, I can learn something now. Well, there we go. We can all learn something. See if it comes up with. Apparatus. I don't know what the image was.
Can I just give a big kiss to Multi Tom Tom?
Yeah, he needs it. Go on. There you
Love
go.
you, multi Tom Tom.
Oh, ain't that nice? Oh. Oh, Mighty Tom Tom, please, 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 please do another video. I need another good laugh. But special request, don't do a rap, please. Just do a flat Earth video, a globe debunking. Do my video, the one where it's undebunkable. Okay, because then once I see it's undebunkable, I can shut down this channel. Okay, save hours and hours of fun and work. All these good people can save their super chats, patrons, and memberships, and we can all go home and do something more productive, perhaps. So go on, debunk us, pal. He has actually been on this channel once, Ranty. He did come on. It was only and I'm not aware of Tom Tom going on anyone else. So I gave him credit for doing that at the time, and I was pleased that he felt he could trust me to come on, and he was on for a short while. He said he didn't have long. It was only a couple of minutes, but credit to Tom Tom. You did do it that time. Not since. Okay, Colin. Thank you, pal.
Alan Broad says, I'm actually jealous of perspective kissing multi Tom Tom.
I'm presuming, PJ, you don't, since you're in the room, you're not looking for a kiss from Ranty, because I must admit I'm not.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Hey, Ranty, maybe we should send you over to Nathan. He could do with a good kiss. Sorry, Colin, I'm trying to read your... super chat. Sorry, not super chat, your message. Oh, right, I see. Okay. Well, listen, we got SE Montreal in the live waiting room. Now, I've spoken just for a short time with SE Montreal over on Blue Marble's server in voice, and he was a decent chap to speak to at that point. So should we bring out SE Montreal, because he's on the flat side, PJ. Okay, so it'll balance things up. So there's SE and yourself, and myself and Ranty, but it'll all be amicable. I won't allow it to be otherwise. Okay. Good. Okay, let's bring him on then. So, SE Montreal, I'll give you about a 30-second warning so you can finish off your conversation. You don't get ripped out of the middle of saying something. Have you had dealings with SE, Ranty?
Oh yeah, I know SE very well. Yeah.
Okay. Let's bring him on. Go on.
He believes that I'm a sleeper agent, only pretended to be a globe earther whilst finding all the information and secrets on the globe side to eventually come back to the flat Earth side, because that's where I belong, apparently. So that is what he believes.
I just realised we gave you all the NASA Shill account your bank account
numbers.
Damn.
I know.
You haven't set any direct debits up or anything like that, have you?
Oh, listen, I'm taking it all, mate. It's all going back to the flat Earth.
Well, let's bring SE in. Okay. Hello, good evening, SE Montreal. How are you? Hello, SE Montreal. How are you? He's not muted. SE Montreal. Sorry, PJ and Ranty, you can still hear me, can't you?
Can still hear you.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Oh, all right. SE, if you can hear me, there's obviously an issue. I'm going to pop you back in and see if we can get you sorted out with Colon, who's the Discord moderator, and then we'll try again in a few minutes' time, okay? But thank you for coming along. Hopefully we can get you on stream. Oh, that's a shame. It happens from time to time. Oh, I didn't realise that, Ranty. Tom says that you and cats are lovers.
I wouldn't say lovers, that's a bit strong,
What, sort of one-night stands or what, then? You need to... You need to clear this up.
We've met more than once. What can I say?
True, but
listen, I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Fan the flames of their delusions here.
Yes. This is it, isn't it? We can sit here and joke. The people out there can appreciate the humour, and what they do, they'll clip it and make nefarious claims against you. And cats.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what it always turns around to on the flat Earth side, have you noticed, is homophobia. Have you seen that? You know, it happens quite a lot.
There is an awful lot of it, an awful
Yeah.
lot, and I really don't know why. If you feel uncomfortable around someone who is homosexual, transsexual, or whatever, fine. Don't spend time with them. I mean, what's the problem? They're just people you meet, people you chat to, people you might sit in a pub and drink with. They're not trying to bed you all the time. I really don't get it. Really don't.
It's quite disturbing, actually, especially after what, as I say, I mean, Jeranism wants to find out the size of, and all that. You know, I mean, it's very, very homophobia thing.
I just don't understand it. But then we got people like Debay, who is some level of neo-Nazism and anti-Semitism. Again, I actually don't get that. I mean, I'm not being funny. Since you mentioned homophobia, I totally disagree with it. But there is a difference there, and that people are exploiting or hating. The same with racism. There's a difference, whether it's the shape of our bodies or faces or hair or the colour of our skin. There's a difference, and people are latching onto that. But with something like anti-Semitism, I just don't get it. What is it that you're even hating? You know? And then when someone turns around and calls me an anti-Semite, someone who literally cannot understand it, that's really rich.
Mr. Sensible,
Yes, see.
SE is ready again. He's on a mobile phone, so it's our usual issue with that. I think I've sorted it out with him.
Oh,
Let's
cool.
give him another
We'll give it a
shot.
try. He knows it's an honest try. Okay, thanks, C. I'll bring him in. Right, let's try again. Hello, SE Montreal. Have we got you this time? Hello, SE Montreal. Oh no. So phone issues, I'm afraid. Okay, what I'll do, SE, if you can hear me, is I'll pop you back in there. If you want, and Colon can get things tweaked any differently, Colon can just chuck you back in any point. Okay, hopefully we can get you in. All right, but thank you again for coming and trying. What a shame. It does happen time to time. Actually, Ranty, did you ever used to do live streams? The only sort of thing I've seen with you as a live thing was when you were moderating that debate, weren't you, with... or was that Sleeping Warrior? Moderating a debate with cats?
Oh,
Was it?
it wouldn't have been me. I don't think I've ever had Sleeping Warrior and cats in a debate, ever.
Or was it Nathan Oakley and cats? Was it you doing that when Cats shut down Nathan Oakley and gave him 10 seconds, or was that Sleeping Warrior was
Oh
doing
no,
that?
that was Sleeping Warrior's channel.
Oh, it was. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean, for me, yeah, I did the occasional live stream. I think I've probably did around about 400.
okay.
4 hours each,
Wow.
5 nights a week.
Can I just say something, Ranty? I never watched any of them. Sorry, pal. I have seen videos of yours, and of course, the way I got sort of tagged onto you was Conspiracy Cats' Ranty the Flat Earth Hero sort of series. That's where I first heard of you, and then I looked at some of your stuff.
Right. Well, what happened? I used to obviously go down the beach doing the filming and stuff,
Yeah.
and I would bring that content to my channel. Most of it I would present on Nathan Oakley's, basically further than you should see on a globe. So it was great for the flat Earth, obviously, because they had these observations. And what happened was I saw a change on Nathan Oakley's channel, and I didn't like the way that he was shutting down the globe Earth argument because I wanted to hear it. And so I decided to set my own debate platform up, basically in competition with him. And at any one point, every night I was doing it from 10 o'clock at night till 2 o'clock in the morning, Monday to Friday. And when I handed the reins over to Brandon, my show was bringing in 280 live viewers regularly. That would have been the staple amount of live viewers that I would have. I had more than that in the past. But I built that up from basically just 30 or 40 live viewers from when I first started it, over a period of about 14, 16 months, and got it all the way up to 280 live viewers. It was a very fair platform because I allowed both sides a very equal argument. You know, it was a round table format, so everyone had the same powers as everyone else. There was no favoritism showed to one side or the other. You know, and it was a place where people could openly talk about their beliefs and have it challenged.
Absolutely, and that's the way to do it. I mean, I hope that. I mean, I know there's two of us in here on the Globe side, but I hope, PJ, you don't feel that you're being harangued and you're being given a good opportunity to speak and express your views.
No, it's all good.
Good. And as I said before, I'm going to say it again. Okay, we've got SE Montreal, who actually has disappeared now. He's obviously got problems with his phone as a connection. He's obviously wanting to come on. But you are the only other person from the, let's say, non-Globe side who is aware of this, who has the balls to come on, because obviously Bev hasn't. There was another guy on Bev's who showed me a mage picture, and when I pointed out the error, I said, come on and discuss it. But you are the only person that's come on, so kudos to you, sir. Thank you very much. And actually, I was going to say, do you have a channel?
At the moment, I was thinking of starting one.
Okay, because had you had a channel, I'd happily put a link out to it. Okay, you might get a lot of people coming onto the channel and disagreeing and maybe being a bit rude and teasing or whatever. But, if you wanted that, then, would have happily shilled out your link. Well, I mean, perhaps some other time when you have got your channel started, you'll come on again. We can talk about whatever output you produce and take it from there. And give a link out to your channel, of course. If you have the decency to come on here, I have the decency to share your channel.
Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thank you very much.
And to be fair, that's exactly what I did on my channel too. For anybody, Globe Earther or Flat Earther, if they came on and they made a presentation, which I would often open my channel up to have a full hour, let's say, of a presentation from a Globe Earther. This is me being a Flat Earther, and then hang up the show. Basically, I would start the show. They would do all the presentation.
Wow.
I'd take questions from the chat to ask him. I wouldn't get involved. I would just pass the messages on. He would answer them, and then I would round up the show, and I'd say, "Thanks, guys. We'll start a live stream on the next in about half an hour or so, and then I'd do a live stream after." So it would be a standalone show that the Globe Earther would come on, talk about moon landings or Coriolis or whatever. And this was the round table format.
That's really good. I wasn't fully aware of that, Ranty. I mean, that's absolutely fair, and very generous. I mean, that's the sort of thing it should be. No, I'm not surprised that it built up, because they could disagree with you as your beliefs, but could utilise your platform as a fair and open platform. So I'm not surprised you built up subs. Unfortunately, that's now... Unfortunately, what's happened to Brandon?
Oh, I don't know. I joking. Well, I've been pressuring him to give a prediction for this auto level test that me and Katz are going to perform, looking at the Isle of Man.
Yeah.
He said that he would have that ready within a few days, let's say. This was about 4 months ago. And I've been asking him relentlessly on Skype and on Discord for his prediction, and he's just been ignoring me. And he hasn't obviously done a live stream now for about 2 months. He's gone silent. He's not really spoken to anybody or given them any reasons as to why he's not put a community post out telling anybody about it. He's just gone silent. So it's very bad form. But jokingly, I messaged him a few days ago and I said, "Hey, mate, seeing as your channel's dead now, why don't you give it back to me so I can kickstart it again?" So he responded within 4 minutes, and he just said these 3 words:
Okay.
Eat a dick. Eat a dick.
Lovely. Because I was just about to, I was just about to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, hey, perhaps, it's for family or personal reasons, because that's a possibility. Suddenly some family emergency comes up, someone's very ill or whatever, and you drop everything else because that's not important. That could have been a possibility, but I guess from the response you got, that's not the case. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, he could have just said it's on hold for a while. It'll be rebooted in a while because I've got other things on. That could have been it, couldn't it? That's what he had to say.
Yeah, I mean, it was a cheeky kind of way of me prompting him to at least respond to me in some way, because he hadn't spoken to me for 4 months after me asking him loads and loads of times with unanswered questions to him about this, about what the test would show. So I just thought I'll try something different. I badgered him a little bit about the channel, and he responded within 4 minutes. So clearly he is around. Clearly he has the opportunity to have just taken a few minutes out of his life to spend, let's say 10 minutes, just writing a couple of paragraphs on the channel as an update, a community update for those 5,000 subscribers that he has over there now.
Yeah.
So he could have done that, but he hasn't.
Yeah, it doesn't take much effort just to give them respect like that. I've actually been sent a message, very kind message, a word I said earlier on. I'll read this message in or part of it, or the gist of it in a second, because I want to make clear that, and this person isn't saying I was, but I want to make clear that in no way was I meaning to give any offence to anyone. They pointed out that, I mean, I don't even recall the exact word I said, but they're saying that I said I said transsexual, and the correct term is transgender. No offence is meant at all, because I've got no axe to grind against anyone. Okay, whatever their religion, their race, or their sexual proclivity, or how they identify, I have no problems at all with that. So if I use the wrong word, I used the wrong word. My apologies. Okay.
It's a live stream. You've been streaming for 95 minutes at that point. Most of that by yourself, let me just say, and just having that level of conversation with someone without misspeaking for one word, and being pulled up on it. I think it's good to pull you up on it, but ultimately,
and I have no problem.
But you've got to also realise it's a live stream, and you say, by the end of this, if people did the word count of how many words you said, it would be 25,000 words. There's a chance you're going to say something wrong at some point.
Yeah, and I'll just to make clear, the person who sent me that message was not having a go at me at all. They were just giving me a heads up. Oh, you said this. This is the correct word, and so I'm correcting myself. So thank you for that message. I appreciate it. Because, I mean, as you're saying, Ranty, you're talking, and if you did misspeak in a second, you've forgotten what you said a few minutes ago. I'm grateful for that. Thank you.
Can I take the opportunity to say that, do you know that I'm doing a video for Simon Dan?
I do. You told us already, pal. But no.
Did I? Bloody hell.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that you're telling people, because I think it's one hell of an opportunity. And I'd be pleased to do one, Dan. I'm available. I've done a bit of content for Dan, which I really enjoyed, and he was great to work with. Tell us about your video, or what you can, because I presume some of it's secret right now.
Well, it is secret. I don't want to give too much away. So just suffice to say that I will be doing a video. It's going to be about 17 minutes long. I've already scripted it. I've got to obviously put it all together, but I want it to be, worthy of his channel, which I think it will be. Very enlightening, which I hope it will be. And if people get the opportunity to go over and watch it, I think it's coming out in the second week of January. So
I just realised your plan. You're just going to mirror one of my videos, aren't you?
I am. How did you even guess that?
You'll just CGI your face over mine. Now, I'll tell you what, I'm really looking forward to it. It's a hell of an opportunity. I'm sure it'll give you a well-deserved kick in the subs, you know what I mean, in the subscriber count, and look forward to it. And, others have done content, and I hope to do so again, because the content I did, likewise, I thought, I really want to make an effort. I mean, I make an effort, and I think we all make an effort for our channels, but when you're collaborating with someone else, you're also doing it for a whole new audience. So it's quite a responsibility, and it's a big audience he's got.
Indeed. And
I mean, I don't want to make you nervous, Ranty. Everyone will be watching,
Oh, I'm not nervous.
No.
But can I just answer this Waikika Moo Cow, because they're talking about the Almost Unbelievable channel and asking, has it died? Well, effectively, it's in hibernation. That's the best way I can say it. However, I did actually speak to Katz earlier on today, and he's finally told me that after tomorrow, he is free for an entire month, which means that we can start working back on the almost unbelievable stuff. So that means that within the next month, let's say, we should have a whole bunch of content ready to start putting out again. So it's been a while, but I have been held back because Katz has been working on a book. In case you didn't know, he's been working on this textbook for the American market. This scientific book, and if all goes well, it could be very well for him. So I have no doubts that he's given it his all over these past few months, but that probably took priority. Well, obviously did take priority.
Yeah.
So that, it's a two-man job to do the almost unbelievable. And so that's what I can say is that from tomorrow he will be available for a month. So we will be starting work on that again.
Excellent, something to look forward to. And the unanswered question is, which of you is almost and which of you is unbelievable?
I'm unbelievable. What can I say?
Yeah. Bev is in the chat. He's just popped in. SE, that's SE Montreal, has no problems on Next Level Discord server. The problem is on Mr. Sensible's Discord. Just saying. Well, Bev, I hope you're not hinting anything else. We have in the room a flat earther, Mr. PJC Net. He's had no problem. I'm not saying anything against SE. It happens from time to time. He's connecting via a phone. We've had Colon, who's very good with this stuff, who has endeavoured to get things working. On this occasion, it hasn't. That's happened before to other people. Okay, there's nothing nefarious. I wanted to speak to SE Montreal. I have no beef with SE Montreal. It would have been nice to have a conversation. And in fact, I even said it might even it up a bit because we've only got PJC Net because he's the only one who's got the cojones to have come in here, apart from SE Montreal. Because I noticed a distinct lack of bevs. Did you count any bevs in here, Ranty?
I didn't count any.
No. What about you, PJ? Oh, no, I don't want to put you on the spot against other flat earthers. Okay. Or level earthers with elevation. There's apparently a big difference.
Can I do a shout out to Jose JG Boom in the chat? So he for some, I don't know what's gone on. Some kind of scam happened where he lost his channel.
Oh no!
Apparently.
Do you know? I didn't hear about that at all.
So Jose JG had close to 3,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
He was doing his regular debate platform, and I believe somehow whether he gave the information to a scamming company or something, but ultimately they stole the channel. Then he had the channel terminated.
Is this like what happened to Martin Liedtke?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
The problem is, I don't think Jose's got the same influence as Martin did, because at that time, that's another thing, you see. When he lost his channel, I got everybody to start tweeting out. I brought him on the channel, my channel back then, and then we did a mass tweetathon to YouTube about this incident. So they were getting thousands of tweets to YouTube about Martin leaked his channel, and then he got his channel back.
Oh, I thought he just set up again and managed to repopulate it. And good for him.
Got it back. Yes,
because I don't like to see anyone a victim of a scam, and I didn't like that for Jose either. That's the first I've heard of it, Jose. I'm so sorry. I've been on Jose's original channel several times and enjoyed it on each time. So I'm sorry that's happened to you, Jose. Get those subs back and get them back quick, pal. If you've got your new channel, let's see. Can one of the mods please? There we go. Dora's done it. Jose, Dora's posted a link to your channel. So if anyone wants to check that out, give Jose a bit of support. That would be appreciated. And talking of which, and we are coming up to the end of the stream. It's just coming up on 11, so we're going for 2 hours. My new channel with Mrs. S. We started at 7 subs when I gave the link out. We're now at 101. I'm very, very pleased, and I know that she will be too. Really looking forward to it. A couple of days, Wednesday or Thursday, we'll have our first live premiere. I do want you all to join us. Flat or globe, it doesn't matter, because that's not what the channel's about. Excellent. So I think I just have a quick check there. Yeah, guys, I think I'll round up. PJC Net. I'm after I get rid of this ranty bloke, okay, I'm going to give you the last word as a guest, okay? So Ranty.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. I'll say again, thanks again for the idea for the channel. I too can see big possibilities in it. I'm looking forward to it, so I really appreciate it.
I
And
really
the
wish
support and advice you've given me when we've discussed it a couple of times back and forth.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. I'll chat with anybody and I'll give them as much advice as they want. I'm not, at the end of the day, you still have to go through and actually put that channel together. So, was it 10 minutes of talking to me is really nothing. But I've seen what you've done. I've really enjoyed it,
Good.
and I hope that it takes off for you. I really have
Thank
big
you.
high hopes for it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, and Ranty, what I'll do is I'll pop you back into the live waiting room. Okay, so
Okay.
there's a few people there, and have a chat. Stay as long as you wish, or run off if you wish as well. Appreciate you coming on again.
Okay. See you later.
Thanks. Good night. Good night. What a nice guy. So PJ.
Hello.
Hello.
Just thanks for having us on. It's wasn't as
pleasure.
bad as I expected. I've never been on a live stream before.
Well, the first time is always going to be the hardest, isn't it? And I think you have done really, really well, because you've expressed your opinions. You've not been afraid to speak, and that's cool. It's absolutely cool. And as I said, you might come away from this holding exactly the same position as you held when you started. That's fine. I've heard you say a couple of times, well, I don't know this. That's absolutely fine. I'm quite happy to admit I don't know things. Not be funny, only a fool would say that they do know everything, because nobody does. Nobody does. So it's been a pleasure to have you on here, and it has genuinely been a pleasure to see from your initial start how you've sort of joined the community. Again, you can disagree with everyone, that's fine, but you become part of the community. So yeah, when I saw earlier on you said, oh, I've got a mic, I'm thinking of going on, I was really pleased. Really pleased. Okay, well, thanks again. Do come on again. Do feel welcome. Okay. What I'll do is I'll pop you into the live waiting room. There's a whole bunch of people there. They're all regulars, apart from one is a name I don't recognise. Okay, so do feel free to stay and have a chat. I'll be back in there in a few minutes. Yeah, shoot the breeze if you want, and if you need to run, that's fine too, pal. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll pop you over there now. Good night. Good night.
Night.
That's brilliant. Honestly, I'm really, really pleased PJ came in tonight. We had a good chat. Probably disagreed about everything, but it was a decent chat. And that's what we want. That's what we want. Now, hopefully, one or two of the things I've said, he'll think about, and maybe, and I hope, he'll look into, and maybe, and I hope, he'll change his mind about something. That's what we want to do. I'm not in here to do an Oakley, swear and shout at people and call them every name under the sun. That's not me, and that doesn't get us anywhere. All it does is upsets people. So I'm going to again give a final shout out for this new channel. The link is pinned to the top. If you missed it at the start of the stream, it's a brand new channel. The channel is live with no content now. The first content will be on Wednesday or Thursday night. It's uploaded and ready. It's first time watching. You'll join myself and Mrs. Sensible, where you'll find out our real names, and you'll join us as we watch a film for the first time and see our genuine reactions. If you've not seen one of those before, it's actually quite an experience, and I hope and I think you'll enjoy it. So do join us there. I see I've got another super chat came through. Excuse me, from Ira Gwyn for £5. Oh, actually, there's two, so I'll read them in order. The first one was from Waikikamu Cow for $2. Oh yeah, Australian, the upside down ones, saying, great show, Mr. S. Well, thank you very much, Waikikamu Cow. I really enjoyed it too. I genuinely did. It was a good chat, so thank you for that super chat. And that last one from Ira Gwyn for £5, saying, only just got here due to YouTube notifications not working. Top tip, if you ever think that's a possibility, unsubscribe, resubscribe, and hit notify all, and it seems to refresh it. It seems that YouTube will give it so many months and then stop notifying people. There we go. It said, only just got here due to YouTube notifications not working. Have a £5 for being a boldy guy like me. Hey! It's great, isn't it? I cut my hair tonight, or Mrs. S cut my hair. It took 5 minutes with clippers. Job done. I saved a fortune, absolutely fortune on hairdressing. Although hair care products do still cost quite a lot of money, of course. Never mind. Can't have everything, can you? So I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us tonight, and look forward to seeing you on the new channel. Thanks to Ranty and PJC Net, who spent a lot of time tonight just kicking the breeze, talking about some interesting stuff. Appreciate that. And my apologies to SE Montreal for not being able to get you on the chat. We did try, and maybe another time, because as I said, when I spoke to SE, he was perfectly civil with me, and so he's welcome. We'll try another night, whether or not it's an open mic, because I usually have some people in. I try and get you in. Okay? So thank you very much. Please, everyone, take care of yourselves. See you soon, and stay sensible. And then I hit the other button. Good night. SE Montreal for not being able to get on the chat. We did try, and maybe another time, because as I said, when I spoke to SE, he was
the best. If you please, here are some flowers. Let me display them. Yea, Victor, well, or you have gone, all slay them. Mr. Sensible, you are a man. Every subscriber is a faithful fan. Bring your logic and your cheese. Mr. Sensible, help us out, please. Mr. Sensible, I needed proof of gravity, so I jump off the roof. It's hard enough, let me go further. Why was I ever such a dumb flat earther? Mr. Sensible, I'm such a clown. I am the laughing stock of the town. Bring your logic and your cheese. Mr. Sensible, help me out, please. Mr. Sensible, bring me a sphere, to which the waters of the oceans adhere, have explanations, but let me be candid. So clear that all the fluffers understand it, Mr. Sensible.